Hi folks, I'm Mr. Muff, and I have for you a very unusual 4 versus 4 in the Operation Market Garden mod for Company of Heroes, because today we are playing in the extraordinarily rare Victory Points game mode. This is a game mode that I have never played. Ostensibly this may be the first and possibly last game of this mode in the last 10 years and possibly the next 10. So we're playing on Trevier. I don't know anything about how this game mode works other than I expect it involves controlling a majority of the territory. I have randomized which player we are spectating, whose perspective we have, to help make it more obscure who is going to be on the winning side. And let's just take a look at who we're playing with and get into it. So, on the allies, we have Area, Pink Predator, Housey, and Stuart, of whom only Housey is playing as the British. So, on the left, we've got Pink Predator coming in with a long barrel Sherman and some infantry, including ambush rifles, so he's playing as infantry. We've got in the middle Stuart coming in with a Hellcat and some riflemen. We've got then also Area coming in with an AT gun and some machine guns and some riflemen. And on the right then we've got our Brit player Housey coming in with some upgraded troops and a Cromwell. Meanwhile in the middle we've got a scout bike coming up, spotting for this martyr that Goboslayer's bringing up here. Looks like he wants to control the middle with this, perhaps. Hellcat running down the road doesn't bode well if we can get these vehicles in position. And otherwise, we've got, a Panzer Grenadier blob from Gobbo, a medic, and some stormtroopers and other things from Unlimited. Another martyr on the left from Stormtrout, and some more Panzer Grenadiers with G43s. Let's get that game speed equalized and get going. There it is, the Hellcat. Getting spotted and eating some hits from that lockdown martyr is going to want to get out of there. Let's see how the rest of these meeting engagements go. Now, Pink Predator has got this Sherman that is not going to really enjoy these Panzerschrecks or this martyr in this open field. And if Stormtrout has the opportunity to lock that down, it's going to be a bad time, especially if Pink is going to show his rear armor like this. Now, there are these ambush rifles here. Get a good chunky hit on the martyr, going to force it back. But otherwise, we do have this fight going on in the middle with Gobbo's more upgraded infantry tossing grenades into these buildings, tossing that G43 slow, much like Stormtrout is as well, just tearing apart Pink's poor unupgraded riflemen here. They do have a grenade, it looks like, but does not land where we want it. Overall, at the start, it looks like the Axis are gaining a little bit of an early advantage, while Stuart just relegates his flamethrower engineers to repair duty instead of fighting with them. Now, Goboslayer's troops now have gotten in a real sticky situation here, being pinned down in red cover, so now those engineers are going to come up while the martyr is distracted, but I think the martyr might be planning to move up and get some hits in, while Gobbo's infantry slinks away. There goes that MG. On the right over here, it looks like a little bit... Ooh. I was going to say a little bit more slowed down because of this sort of central fixture here, but Housey has managed to hit flank speed and catch Kais's Stug out of position. Otherwise, it looks as though the bulk of the action, I expect that to go down, the bulk of the action is going on in the middle and on the left. It looked as though Stormtrout was going to be making some ground over here, but with some reinforcements from Area to back up Pink Predator, it looks as though the best he can do is just to try to hold his ground. And because we're in VP mode, I'm gathering that's important. Victory Point Group 1 online. Ah, I see. Interesting. So the VPs spawn over the course of the game. Neat. And it looks like the Axis has control of this one. It's just this crossroads. I do love this. It looks as though the players were not aware that they were playing VP mode. Alright. Well, let's see how that changes it. How do our players react to that? We've got Pink bringing some rifles to the center here, just running over open ground. to try to capture this. Do we know how to capture this? I don't. Oh, all that to throw 2 grenades into an empty building. You hate to see it. It looks like Gobblesnare, meanwhile, is trying to knock down some of these line-of-sight blockers for his martyr to be able to shoot. Oh, man, that hurts. All those riflemen. All these riflemen. And this Sherman is going to eat some shots from this martyr, too. The Gobblesire has found a great spot for this martyr, just right here in the middle. Has great sight lines along both of these axes here, and if he needs to catch the middle here, he can just reposition. But on the other side, it looks as though Stormtrout has been pushed back a bit for reasons not evident to me. And we've got a flamethrower Sherman coming in now from area to try to get some quick kills on these troops. And you know what? Honestly, that went better than it probably could have. Being shot up by this martyr, he got some nice rundowns. That's going to free up some population from Stormtroop to bring on some more troops, maybe. But in the meantime, that's some rough casualties that it looks like Area is going to try to take advantage of to get this AT gun in here to maybe hit the martyr or the medic half-track that he's got. But you know what? Perhaps wisely has changed his mind. Not sure what his plan is with this machine gun here, but he does have the other one to cover it, and that gets all of Stormtrout's stuff pinned down. We've got an artillery barrage coming down as well. I expect that's probably the infantry 105 off map. Yes, it is. Oy, 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 oy. Oh, and a sticky bomb too. Amazing. Got some grenades here in reply, but that's only going to get one of the 2 machine guns. And then I expect that one's going to be recrewed right away. Don't know what the plan with this AT gun was, though. Getting it decrewed like that. What's going on in the middle? We still got this blue star here.
The enemy is weakening even now.
Another sticky bomb. Incredible. Well, there goes the martyr. Alright, you know what? It works, I guess. Stormtrout has been routed 2v1. Which begs the question, what's the rest of the Axis doing while this is happening? It looks as though progress on the right here has been slow. I have not been looking at it too much. It is this sort of center of line-of-sight blockers here often makes this side a bit of more methodical one to fight over. We've got that Hellcat from Stewart that's still not having a great time. A mortar half-track now to replace those losses. Always a good asset to have. Great map to have it on as well, with all of these buildings that you can tuck behind and relocate rapidly. But looks like here on the left, Pink and Area are looking to take advantage of having pushed Stormtrout off, and Stormtrout appears to be consolidating primarily towards the middle. So the Allies can take this field for now, get a bit more territory. Now, what am I looking at here? Right. These victory point gains are shifting, but this star in the middle is not. Oh, now it is. Maybe. Is it like a combination of like who controls more territory on the map and who controls the star? I don't know. There's also no game clock, but that's fine. There's a clock down here. We're less than 10 minutes in still. 2 anti-tank guns now from Pink Predator locking down this Hetzer. This Hetzer Stormtrout, I guess, brings on as a preempt for any other vehicles that he might face, but right now that's just not a useful asset for him to have. It does not deal with any of the stuff that's on here, except for this machine gun bunker that is presently being built. Area famously loves his machine gun bunkers. But even though the mortar half-track took out one of those AT guns, we still got this other one here. I expect these guys might have stickies. Maybe not. Maybe they're just scouting for the bazookas. Over on the right, though, it looks like we've got a bit of a breakthrough from Kais and Gabo. They're taking the business end of a machine gun, but they do finally take down that Hellcat. Gabo Slayer's Martyr has been doing pretty alright for itself so far, just sort of controlling these long sight lines on the right and middle. Victory point group 2 online. There's more victory points. One here, one there, and one there. Are they like, do they appear randomly? Because this is a pretty, under normal circumstances, Axis favoring set of VPs here. One in the middle, one heavily in Axis territory, and one in Allied territory. This is fascinating. What's going on over here? Got a 17-pounder and a Vet 3 mortar from Housey, presumably to engage these assets from the Axis here that are sort of an anti-tank bulwark for the Axis offense here. But it does look as though this push has slowed down a bit, but definitely gained a good foothold, a counterpoint to the one that the Axis have, or the Allies have on the left. But Stuart has wormed some mechanized infantry in the middle and are taking the center VP, so yeah, it does look like you just capture it the normal way. I want to know where, like, the overall VP, like, counter is? Like, can the players see that and I can't? I don't know. Does look like, however, Stuart's infantry is not going to capture this VP, as Gabo has brought some troops in to intervene. I would be shocked if this makes it out. It makes it out, I'm shocked. But Stormtrout still appears to be struggling a bit, fighting mostly 2 versus 1 over here. Now, Unlimited has come in with some troops. He's still got these Stormtroopers on. I gather these are probably the same ones, and this has just got another set of them. And he's got a stew on now, which will definitely be a useful tool against all of this infantry that these other two are fielding here. But we've still got these AT guns to contend with. We've got a new one to replace the one that got destroyed. Mortar half-track has got its work cut out for it in that regard. Now, rather than use the church, this is very interesting. Stuart has elected to build a machine gun bunker to watch over that central VP. Even though the Allies do not control it yet, and it'll still give them a base to try to take it over. Here comes Victory Point Group 3. There's a whole bunch of them here, fellas. Alright. I see. So, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, 1 in the middle. 5 of these guys, huh? I suppose this is even though it's nominally closer to the front, this is, if the Axis side has control of this area, things are not going well, right? So, fair enough. I guess this is a defensible position for the Allies. Alright. Take 2 at capturing this VP. Looks like it takes a while to capture these, because they've been flickering for a while. Alright. We've got another crocodile from area that our Hetzer is coming to intercept, it would seem. And area seeing that is just going to do a nice big U-turn, show that rear armor. But, as you can see, with the bulldozer attachment on, that does increase the maximum health. Comparatively small amount of hit points lost there. Things in the middle appear to have, well, I was going to say stabilized a bit, but the Allies have managed to capture this central VP. The Allies have captured most of the VPs, in fact. The only ones that the Axis are holding on to is the one that's in their territory down here. Have not gone out of their way to capture this one that's just right there. You know, I mean, Gabo could just easily send these Walking Wounded to capture it, if they can capture it, actually. I don't know if Walking Wounded can capture VPs, because they can't capture regular territory. In any case, though, I mean, it's right there. Go capture with someone. Oh man, wouldn't you hate to see tank busters get killed by regular engineers? But that's what's happening. Did I just hear some artillery? Yes, we have a 105mm on from Pink Predator. Not sure what he was trying to blow up. He got a man. Yeah, this bottom left corner is a little bit of a mess, though. I might speculate Stormtrout is feeling a little bit frustrated at the primarily 2-on-1 combat that it seems like is going on here from my observations. Occasionally we see Unlimited in here with some units, but... my observation has mostly been Stormtrout doing the bulk of the fighting. This stew... now I say that stew had 24 kills on it, which is definitely not nothing. But now it goes pop to all these AT guns here. And that Hetzer could be doing better as well.
An enemy unit has fallen to our might.
And indeed, on the right, the Axis have been pushed back a bit as well. And still have not captured this? Is there like a bug or some reason why they haven't done this? Okay, now it looks like they're finally getting around to it. Great. It also looks like you only have to just sort of be in the vicinity. You don't have to go up to it like a... come on, guys. Guys, just capture it. It's right there. What's going on? What am I missing? Oh, man. I think Predator's AT gun is just getting a lot of free hits on these vehicles, just dominating this open area here. And in spite of some significant efforts, Area's Crocodile is going to get away too. Which is giving the Allies an opportunity now as Stuart comes around with some of his units of his own to put pressure on... oh my, I missed that grenade, but I see the aftermath. That's rough. Put pressure on the healing station. There's not really anything here to protect it, honestly. We've just got the Panzerschreck man. Well, alright, that's valuable. And the medic in here with his MP40. There goes the Panzerschreck man. You love the slide to lockdown martyrs that just sort of glide into position and wind up. Very good. Yeah. So, at any rate, Gabo coming in to help shore this up a bit, but so far for the Axis, this is looking poor, if I'm honest. We do have an Ostwind here, I think a reasonable choice, except for, again, there's just total domination by these AT guns of this area, right? That's going to push the infantry off of this place and keep them from capping it for now, but it took so much damage, now we lost the main gun. And so this Rifleman is just going to come back here and finish the job. It seems like the Allies have now managed to lock down this right side with a machine gun bunker with a captured MG42 inside, nonetheless. A mortar. Really interested to see in what fashion the Axis manages to rally themselves to come back from this. But for the time being, and there's more artillery coming down too. For the time being, I mean, yeah, look at this. We've got all these armored assets and nothing in place to stop them. We've got tank busters here, but they're not in position. We've got this Ostwind with no gun that's just sort of sitting here soaking up pop. Allies are just roaming in with all these anti-infantry assets. Friendly fire, however, mulches some of these Rangers, if I saw that correctly. Don't love to see that for the Allies, but, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, they're still doing all right. Yeah, even taking this piece here in the enemy side. And the Axis still haven't captured this. There must be some issue that I'm just missing. Oh my, was that the AP barrage from a Calliope? That's another rarity that you get to see work. Because Gabo Slayer's Martyr just got taken down. But, tit for tat, he does manage to get in the back and take out a Vet 3, I gather, RCA mortar, and that's not nothing. He's gonna die for the pleasure, but it's not nothing, I guess. Also blow up an AT gun, which is good, You like doing that as Axis. You like doing it as anyone, but you especially like doing it as Axis. But we now have a Comet coming in retort from Housie. So the Allies managed, just, it would seem, to rout the right side, but now they're going to pull back because they just don't really have a base, right? That Martyr is gone. They don't have the AT gun up here to back them up, and Housie, or excuse me, Kais is not bringing it up. I guess they're just not confident that they can hold this area. Which, I mean, there's a degree of extension that's being done there, but on the other hand, you look at the Allies, right? They're just taking fast maneuver units over here on the left and just being bold with them, causing chaos and delay. Now, I expect there's probably going to be a degree of exploding vehicles that are occurring here, but you get the idea.
Fallen to our might.
They're just not being hesitant. They're being aggressive, causing as much damage as they can.
Comrades have given their lives for the homeland.
And then somehow getting away with it as Area limps these vehicles out. Now, he's playing as infantry, so he's not got... No, he's playing as armored. We saw him, yeah, he's got vehicle crew repairs, so he used that on this already. We're doing it on the armored car as well. Well, we got another Sherman coming in here. Just keeping up the pressure, right? Quick reinforcements.
Eliminated the enemy once more.
But if Unlimited can come in here and blow up this AT gun, or the Sherman, look, couldn't really tell which one he was going for there, but either of those would be prime things to kill. That AT gun, though, is, I think, probably, honestly, the bigger target, right? Because it has been doing such a deadly job shutting down all of these Panzer Elite assets in this area. So now Unlimited is going to use... Oh, what a tragic use of a martyr. Going to use Blitzkrieg to basically just sort of run away while cloaked / uncloaked. So there goes the armored car, but yeah, rough for that martyr. The Sherman only takes 1 or 2 hits or so. Alright, well, we've got the gun back up on the Ostwind, so it's going to also use that Blitzkrieg speed bonus to get in here. And maybe Stormtrout's tank busters can blow up something? Nope. And it's just going to try to sprint away while all of these troops collapse in. Kais and other units on here still nominally have a little bit of equalization on the territory, but VPs really still, for the most part, have been in the hands of the Allies. There's a little bit of equalization that's going on now. The Axis have been attempting to gather this bit in the middle, and then there's this attempt to capture the one on the left. I do not expect that to go very far. And finally, someone got around to capturing this VP on the right. So it seems to have closed the gap a little bit, but not as much as you'd like. So I think I understand what I'm looking at. The numbers here are still, you know, the game labels them as VP, but I think that's still population gain from territory. And then we've got... This is your regular VP counter. I still don't know, like, where the victory tracker is. Now we got a Yagged. Still has this one AT gun to contend with, but it's not in the best position, if I'm honest, to do with the Yagged. Hence he's backing it up, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, I don't have really any way to know, how close the Allies are to winning on VPs right now. So we'll just sort of have to see where it goes or how this ends. But the Allies have managed to get into a position where they can recapture this bit in the middle. They've maintained control of this one here. The Axis weren't able to take it back. We do have this Yagged on, which I gather Stormtrout is hoping we'll just bounce these hits from this AT gun until he can deal with the AT gun, but these Shreks are not going to be able to get in there to blow it up. And he's just taking free hits, more free hits, and another AT gun from Stuart. Now, to the Axis's credit, they have been burning through some of these AT guns from the Allies, right? We've seen them go through several, and they're not going to have an unlimited number. Eventually, things going this way, they'll run out. But, also we've got this 88 in the middle that we neglected to mention earlier. But, I don't know. Will it happen before the Axis run out of, time to capture VPs, you know? Just got all these support weapons from the Allies and supporting troops and stuff. Just a constant stream, right? Another new AT gun to back up the other one, right? Big Predator has really just sort of recognized what's important here. And it's just too much for the Stormtrout's mortar half-track to deal with. So now we got a Calliope barrage in the middle. This looks like that was probably an HE barrage, not an anti-tank barrage. So that was an anti-tank barrage that probably almost certainly would have killed that mortar half-track.
We have lost a unit to the enemy's advances.
Very bold application of this AT gun. The Allies have much healing. We've got multiple US players. The only healing building I saw was the casualty clearing station, I believe, which I think is dead. Where are all the healing stations? I know area doesn't bring healing. But, I don't see any healing buildings. Interesting. Well, I mean, they're keeping the pressure on, I guess. Don't got time to heal. There goes the Ostwind. For sure. Which you can see is making Storm Trout's mortar half-track feel a little bit nervous here. Alright. Ooh, what's going on back here? The Yagd has gone all the way into the back to push off the vet. I think that was 4 Priest. Well done there, Storm Trout. Now he wants to get out before somebody managed to cut him off. We've got the AT gun here to retaliate, but a very slick move, to be sure. Forcing that asset off. Even if you don't kill it, who gives a damn, right? As long as you don't have to deal with it, right? It's just gone. And now he's just going to get away. And Stewart seems to have sent this AT gun back to intercept and then forgotten about it. So it's just still going. Just still going. Alright, Stewart, you got there. Okay, now the Axis are officially losing population, and they never, it looks like, got to 40 to begin with. So this really is a bit dire. And to add a bit of injury to the injury, we're going to lose this medic bunker from Unlimited as well that he's using as a healing station. If he doesn't get out of there, he might lose the medic too. If he doesn't get out, he will lose the medic. This 88 I have not really observed doing a huge amount of action. Although, this is a cheeky line of sight bit here, to be sure. The range on these things you always got to look out for. They shoot further than you think. Alright, now we got an off-map going up on this AT gun to try to knock it out or displace it on behalf of the Yag Panther. And we do manage to decrew the other one at the same time, so it looks like he's going to just stay put, try to destroy it, and then move on. Wow, Unlimited crews it with Stormtroopers. Now, what does that say about what Unlimited has available at the moment? He wants to keep his Pioneers to fix stuff, I guess. And or just needed to grab that, and that's with the troops that he had at the moment. Grenade assault going off from the Stormtroopers. There's only 2 of them. But, a very good set of grenades, regardless. Who cares how many, as long as it does the job. But, we do have another Calliope barrage from Stewart that blew something up, and has decrewed the 88, leaving an opening for Housie to move in with some of these troops. Coming into a little bit of a kill zone with the flamethrowers and the mortars, though. He's just trying to hit it with rifle grenades to keep it decrewed, keep the machine gun on it so it can't be crewed. But I don't know that they have anything in position to actually finish it off. We've got the Firefly with the Yag Panther in a very awkward position, though. Nice shot on the move, murking that Panzerschreck guy. Yeah. Alright, you know what? Oh my. Big plays from the Allies going on here, actually. The mortar half-track is going to go down. Have not seen a Berg from the Axis. The Firefly is going to just try to get out of here and leave the rest of the heavy lifting to this AT gun. And now try to finish off this. They did manage to blow up the... Alright, Firefly goes down. They managed to blow up the 88. Have a second mortar half-track, though. Decrued 17 here really is just going to come down to who managed to control this hill will get control of all the support weapons that are left behind. And right now it looks like it's the Allies. We shouldn't discount these Ostfront vets who have decrewed this AT gun are now going to be able to get in and flank this machine gun. We've got the Calliope coming up, maybe getting ready for another barrage. It's only 3 of these guys left. They're going to be pushed around by the Jeep. They're in red cover. Can they decrew the machine gun? If they can, that will clear the way for more guys to move up. Okay, they do. Now the Calliope's looking for just push and crush, but now that that machine gun is decrewed, oof, there's the crush. And both of these AT guns are decrewed. This is the opportunity for that Panther to just get in here and overtake all this ground that they just fought tooth and nail for. They lost the 88, but now these Volksgrenadiers can crew all of these weapons. And this Calliope really overextended itself. It just sort of hung around. Yeah, it crushed one Ostfront veteran, but it didn't do a barrage, and now it's just going to die. Welp indeed, Stuart. This one's on you. I have no compunctions about saying that. This Calliope deserves to die. Alright, well, what do we got for reinforcements? We got rifle grenades. We got Bren sections. We got Devil's Brigade. We got recons. We got riflemen. Ready, sir. But you know what else we got? Really bad population drain for the Axis. And a really dire VP situation. Right, area over here again with these light armored vehicles, just constant maneuver, right? This Yag Panther has to be everywhere at once and it just can't. It has to fight. It doesn't have an opportunity to sit and repair. We've got this ambush rifleman in. Very fortunate that he managed to bounce that from an ambush position. Knocks him down. And with that, there's not a whole lot of AT over here, actually. So I guess there's a window of opportunity for him to do something effective, but at the end of the day, though the Jagd can kill infantry, it's primarily an anti-tank platform. As is the Geschützwagen. The Geschützwagen's got a good machine gun on it, as you can see, suppressing these troops, but it is also primarily an anti-tank platform. And the Martyr is also really entirely an anti-tank platform. We got a lot of AT over here for these armored cars, I guess. Where's the infantry? The infantry that you're going to use to retake this VP. Come on, man, grab that bazooka. Nope. Well, okay. I mean, there's a mortar, but... yeah, all these machine guns. Ari loves his machine guns. Ari is also sitting on one of his own mines. One mortar hit right there. Alright, well, what's going on over here? More action. Alright, so we got some of these weapons crewed. Kais has managed to get one of these 17-pounders. But regrettably, it has not turned in a favorable direction, so maybe it'll blow this universal carrier the hell up, as it does, but, woof, there it's gonna go. Leaving him to try to crew the 57 instead. Nope. Crew the 17-pounder again, as this Panther tries to get some hits in on the Sherman. Sherman turns its attention away from the 17-pounder when it really could finish off that 17-pounder, and instead... oh, man, look at all that. Shoots at the Panther, shoots at the 17, fails to get the crit, is backed off, but this Panther could freely push up and take it if it wanted to. Wastes a shot with target priority on the engineers here after losing line of sight on the Sherman. Devil's Brigade are routed, didn't see what they got up to, but yeah, that Sherman is done for. There's not any anti-tank on the right, and we have a drop. Now that's interesting. We have a drop from the Axis, so I do think it's not looking great for the Axis, if I'm honest. I don't know what the Allied VP situation is, but it's definitely going to be better than the Axis one, and the Axis have now just lost a player. So there have been definitely some wild battles and occurrences here, but so far it does not look to be particularly close, I regret to say. So now we see Stormtrout's units retreating off the field automatically because he's dropped, leaving Unlimited out here to fend for himself with his 57mm AT gun, his medic bunker that he's slowly been fixing with these Pioneers, and the Pioneers. Is that all he's got left? I haven't been looking at Collins. He's got 10 of 19 platoons. He's got stuff. If he wanted to call it in, hypothetically. He's just sort of not. Alright. Martyr desperately trying to blow up this AT gun, but I mean, it's just not going to happen, right? The targeting tables are not favorable, and we got this bazooka infantry right here. And now the off-map comes in right at the time you want to do that is when it's engaging the Panther, so that it's, you know, you force it to move while the engagement is going on. Otherwise, it can just move out of the way like this. I think I'm going to speed us up a little bit. I think we can tell where this is going. Well, alright, I'm looking at the timer. There's still a bit left, actually. We'll keep going. But, I do feel like this is just sort of cleanup. Yeah, I'm gonna speed it up. This is sort of cleanup phase for the allies here. They've got control of every victory point now. So it's been interesting to see how the VPs have changed the player behavior, right? Has really focused more around this location and this location more than it usually does, right? The Allies have been very aggressive at containing control over this territory when otherwise they might be content to just sort of stay here and have the population advantage. Oh, there's that mine. But instead it's forced these pushes into enemy territory to try to get these VPs. And that looks like it's it for the Axis. Axis down to 20 pop. Okay, well, Kais wants to keep fighting, I guess. And it doesn't go well. Well, that was very interesting. It was not particularly competitive, but it was interesting. Yeah, this combination of very aggressive play from... You know, that's a great question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 VPs on the map. Yeah, so I guess map control is the 6th VP. Makes sense. Very aggressive play from Pink and Area on the left to just overwhelm poor Stormtrout's forces here, where he had... I mean, his Panzer lead relies a lot on vehicles, and there's just these AT guns just locked down this area. Then we had the machine guns, and I'm going to be honest, I just didn't really see Unlimited in there as well to even up the 2 versus 2. We had some good maneuvers on the right here. I would have liked to focus more on the right to see what those battles were happening, because there's some very interesting ones over there. But in any case, that's VP mode, everyone. I understand it a little bit better now than I did 30 minutes ago. I'm going to cut the recording here. Thanks for watching, everyone.